Hey everybody, just kind of jumping in real quick here. I know I mentioned that you won't see a whole lot of me in the next few weeks because I get a lot of things I need to get accomplished, in particular before I go to the Frozen Foot Rendezvous. But one of the things that I wanted to get accomplished was getting a deer hide tanned. And if you go back to this channel, to the video I did on the Santa Fe Trail Rendezvous, you'll see the mule deer hide that I was gifted. That's what I'm talking about right now. Now over the years, and I've got plenty of experience tanning deer hides, smoking deer hides, and everything that's associated with it. And for this particular deer hide, I wanted a very specific color. And for unknown reasons, I think, I could not achieve the colors that I wanted to get. And I'm only surmising. I think it has to do with the fact that right now here in New Mexico, we've had a lot of warmer than usual weather. I like to typically smoke my deer hides when it's like a cool, cold temperature, because that lets the hot smoke that's coming out of my wood burning stove to rise. And because the daytime temperature is very, very warm, like 80 degrees, that warm smoke is not rising enough to do what I had hoped would happen in the smoking process. So let me just kind of explain just a little bit, and then I'll show you what I did to achieve the end results. Now, in the smoking process over the years, I've done what you would call light smoking to get almost like a white colored leather. Okay, so that's lightly smoked. Okay, I've done some to where you can get a really good, golden yellow. This was actually smoked with oak as the wood, and you can see, I'm hoping you can see the light gold. I've used cottonwood, and you get a really, really dark, I don't want to say brown, I'm not even sure what you would call it, maybe a really good earth color, really good dirt color. And I'm hoping that you guys can see the difference in what different woods provide in color. And I've got another little piece here that's, a really, really good golden yellow. Now, I don't throw away these little pieces like this, even like this, because what I can do is I can take these small pieces and then I can convert them into, or make small neck bags, medicine bags, or script bags to be more accurate, more historically correct. So stuff like this still has value in my eyes because I can make a lot of these small bags. But because I was looking for a much darker color in the smoking process, and I think because of the conditions of the weather and everything else, I just could not get what I was looking for. So I went to Plan 13B. And I've known about Plan 13B for quite some time, but I've never actually done it because I've always been able to achieve the colors that I've been shooting for. But this particular hide, I couldn't do that. So years ago, I went to a health food store and we bought some black walnut powder. Now, I can't recall specifically the health benefits of black walnut powder, but you can buy that powder at a health food store, and you can boil it, get it to boil, and then let it simmer for just a little bit amount of time, and let it cool down to where you can dip your finger in it, and if that does not burn your finger, then it's not going to burn the hide. Now, since it's still, kind of hot to warm, what that does is that opens the pores on your pre-smoked deer hide. Now, granted, I understand the walnut dye has a high content of tannin in it, and that tannin is what prevents the glues in the hide from resticking. Now, because I had already, since part of my process is pre-smoking the hide, I broke the hide down twice, and then I smoked it, soaked it again, and worked the hide so that all of the tannins from that previous smoking are now infiltrated into the hide. So I had no problem breaking it the third time and getting an absolutely soft and supple deer hide. But because I didn't get the color, I elected to go ahead and dye this black walnut. Now, this is the first time I've done this. Like I said, I've never had a reason to do it. So this is the hide. This was dipped one time in that black walnut dye. Now, one of the reasons why I've been a little apprehensive about using black walnut dye, because of my lack of knowledge until recently, because I always thought, like most dyes, if they're not set properly and you get the item wet, that dye can bleed over and transfer onto your clothing. You know, especially I plan on making pouches out of this, and the last thing that I would want is some buckskinner being on the range and it raining and their pouch getting wet and this dye bleeding onto their clothing. Well, I discovered, and I probably should have remembered from years ago learning about black walnut dye, it does not bleed onto your clothing. So I went ahead and boiled up some of that powder and dipped the hide. And I think you guys can see just the fact that it's flopping around like it is. It's very soft and very supple. And so anyhow, that's how the hide turned out. That's one project done among another 3 or 4 that I need to get done before the next rendezvous. So anyhow, if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. I've got, 30 plus years experience tanning hides, deer hides, elk hides, buffalo hide. I've done raccoons, I've done foxes, I've done squirrels, things like that. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get to them and answer them. And anyhow, when I get the bag made, I plan on beating it and things like that, so I don't know how long it'll actually take me to get to that point. Since I'm retired, I choose to live life at my own pace. So anyhow, I hope everybody can glean something from this, and or at least curious enough to ask questions. So I bid everybody adieu. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to share something like this with your bestest of buds. Bye.